Thanks so much for chatting with me, and congratulations on finalizing the exit of Funkoff.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for all the work you did to get us there.
Oh, it was a unique one. It was a challenge, but always fun. So, for those people listening to this, if you Google Funkoff, you will probably find Sonia and her business partners Shark Tank episode. They were on Shark Tank with their very cool teeth refresher product that they invented and patented. And after that, sold to the public. So we just closed their exit last month with a buyer who's going to use the brand that they built and really try and take it to the next level. Tell me a little bit about how the company got started. Like, how did you have this idea? Tell us how you got into this business.
Well, I've always wanted to do something entrepreneurial from way back when. And I worked for a long time in consumer brands, consumer packaged goods. I worked for big companies like Kraft and Cadbury and Pfizer. And loved working on branding and product innovation and bringing products to market. So happened that I have a friend who had been working on patents for a new product. And we decided to get together and bring the product to marketplace in 2019. And so I got to satisfy my entrepreneurial appetite and use the skills that I had gotten working in consumer packaged goods for several decades.
Awesome. Love that. Tell me a little bit about why you decided to sell the brand and the IP you created.
Yeah, we got to a point, my business partner and I, where we just were not aligned on goals.
Yeah.
And so it became apparent that we needed to make a change. And the best case scenario was a sale.
Mm-hmm. And then did you start like researching how to sell a business? Have you ever been through an exit before? Like, how did you know where to turn to next?
A couple of things. One, throughout working on Funkoff and running the business, an ongoing thing that we had been doing from the very beginning was fundraising. And we got angel investors. And then we realized we needed more capital than we could satisfy with just angels. It was very challenging to raise the level of capital that we needed to get the business where it needed to be.
Yep.
In parallel, sort of a unique situation where my husband had been looking for a business to buy. That's how I became exposed to website closers. And so knew about these marketplaces where companies are bought and sold. And through that process, did some more research around this kind of a solution. Just from all of the experience in the marketplace with fundraising and then researching these kinds of portfolios of companies that get bought and sold, realized that this was a good solution for Funkoff, a really good solution because there's so many e-commerce businesses out there and there's a lot of opportunity for synergies that I didn't know existed.
Yep. I can tell a little personal story. Your husband and I were looking at a business for him to buy, and he ultimately decided not to move forward. And when he told me that on a call, I was pretty sad because he was like my favorite buyer. And of like all the people who were interested in the business, I was like, I want this guy to buy the business. He said, this isn't the right business for me. However, my wife has a business she would like to sell. Will you look at it? And I said, oh, sure. Yeah. So I think that's how we first got introduced, right?
Yes, I was trying to remember getting onto this call, and I couldn't remember if I introduced you to him or he introduced you to me. But
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Website closers, the great connector of people.
It is pretty great.
Yeah. Awesome. So once we decided to work together, I'm sure there were a lot of things that made you nervous about selling. What were some of your main concerns when we first started the process?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're a really wonderful broker advisor. I mean, I think of you more as an advisor, and I think having been through the experience with my husband and looking at other businesses and working with other brokers, I think the concern was, how was the process going to go? Were we going to be working with getting the right advice, really?
Yeah.
And I can, honestly and very passionately say that you were amazing, and surpassed my expectations in terms of the advice and the partnership, really, that you provided. I didn't realize you were going to be such a advocate for us. And that was one of my concerns, is not having done this before. I felt uncomfortable and as if, I didn't know what to expect, but I really feel like you were an advocate. And that made me feel less concerned.
Well, thank you. Every deal is a new adventure. No two are exactly the same. But I feel like, you know, it's much more emotional for you as the seller than it is for me as the broker. So it was good to stand by your side, and we had some ups and downs. It wasn't the easiest deal to get done, but we did it together, and you were wonderful to work with.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I will just add, just in addition to having a good advocate, I think one of the big questions or concerns I had is, are we going to be able to get the valuation that we want? And are we going to be able to maximize the cash that we can get at closing?
Yep.
And I think those are kind of probably the two biggest things that, from a financial standpoint, are concerning. And it's hard to work through that, but you did a great job and you got us through it, and we ended up in a good place.
Oh, thank you. I don't know if I would have ever imagined the deal that we signed when we first started the process together. Like the ultimate deal we signed was good. It was complicated, but it was very creative, wasn't it?
Yes, and actually, owing to you, I mean, that's another really good point. I'm glad you brought that up because you are very creative. I remember a few times we had few bumps in the road, and I didn't think we were going to get past them.
Yeah.
Did not think we were going to get past them. And you were very creative, Gwen. I hand it to you. I really do.
Well, that's what makes my job fun. I get to, keep deals going by figuring out a way for everyone to move forward together. And I know the buyer's really happy as well. So I love that for all of you.